trophy means that any player that comes to our football club has to hit the ground running. You know, Sesko's not going to get time. He's not going to get any time. What Arsenal fans want from Sesko is to be the first name in the team sheet, be the guy that's playing up top, not to be rotating with Kai Havertz. We want someone to replace Kai Havertz and be that genuine striker we've been looking for. The same with Gyökeres. They haven't got time to settle. But you know, I was listening to a few podcasts, and I was listening to friends I've spoken to, and you know, the consensus is, for not all of them, but I'd say the consensus of opinion, if we do a poll and say 40% of Arsenal fans abstained from my poll and 60% participated, you'll find that quite a few percentage of our fans don't want either of them. They don't want. They'd rather have someone else. They'd rather have.
We're not getting Isaac, so
mentioned. I was hearing Isaac mentioned. That shows you that we want guarantees, and that with Osimhen, obviously you see probably more a guarantee, and you think Osimhen's better than the both of them, but most importantly, you know Isak's better than both of them. It's still going to be risk, but that's tough luck. They're getting paid a lot of money. They come in here. I believe both of them are fighting to come here. There's no like pats on the back and we'll show you around and treat you like the new kids. Nah, the new kid needs to come out the block, start scoring, and win us these games that we couldn't win last season.
Do you feel Sesko signing as well, guys, in the sense that some people would say he needs time. Some people that I speak to say if we sign Sesko, it allows Arteta and the club to hide behind the whole project thing and the process thing and all that stuff.
I see with me, if you've got a certain amount of money to spend and both are a gamble, you have to look at the CV. And people are going to say, yeah, but he's scored loads of goals in Portugal. But for me, you can only go by what's in front of you. And if you're spending in the region of £85 million, which is a lot of money out of our budget, considering we was meant to have all this money, if you're going to go and spend £85 million, you have to go for the best player that's proven. And Gyökeres is proven. His goal scoring ratio, his assists, everything is proven. But on the flip side of that, people are going to say, yeah, but Sesko, you know, he's young, he's pacey, he's tall, and all this about, oh, he'll fit the way we play and everything else. Well, the point of the matter is we ain't really had any style of play in an attacking sense recently. Our attacking sense has been pretty hit and miss. We ain't really built up a style of play in the final third. Saka's been injured. Martinelli's been sort of, you know, in and out. Trossard's been used left and in as a false nine. We've had midfield players playing as centre forward, so we haven't really got an identity up front. So Sesko coming in would be very, very similar. I can see if we sign Sesko, he'll play a very similar role to say Havertz and Trossard.
Is that right though, DJB? No. If Arteta does that, like,
coming on the back of that, I'm going to agree with Kenny. We don't want that. We want someone that's going to put Havertz firmly on the bench.
Yeah, I think everyone does. What's the point?
And told you've got to stay there because we've now got a goal scorer. You know,
I don't want messing about.
I don't want all this nonsense of giving time to bed in, rotating, false nines, switching out to the left, playing Havertz down the middle, putting Sesko on the left, dropping Sesko in deep, doing this, putting Havertz in the 10. No.
I'll be real. In the ideal world, he wants to do the Liverpool thing. I think he wants Salah and Saka and another bad boy on the right, on the left hand side, and facilitator.
Unfortunately, DG, in a real world, we've got a manager that likes his final people in the final third to also defend.
That's what I mean. That's why I don't think he wants to striker like that. Goals are a bonus.
This is the problem with the manager. What we need, DG, we need an out ugly, horrible big bags man that's going to score goals. That you can say to him, that is where you operate. We will do the work. When that ball comes in the box, I want you to be dangerous and put the ball in the back of the net.
Because even Pep accepted that with the Haaland purchase, to aid your point, DJ.
Exactly. But we haven't got that. He doesn't want that. He wants to try and play all this false nine. He wants players. He wants a row. You can see what he's trying to do, but he hasn't built enough credit in the bank to experiment now. He hasn't.
Yeah, now we're past experiments. We need to deliver.
We need to deliver. What I'm saying is, so if you're going to go and spend 80-odd million £, go and get the best available. For me, they're 2 bang average strikers. I think they're 2 bang average strikers. We're not talking Erling Haaland. We're not talking Isak. We're not talking like Henry back in the day. We're talking like 2
striker market's horrible in today's day and age.
We're talking like 2 bang average strikers. You know, we're not talking world beaters. So both are going to be a gamble. But what I'm trying to say is these 2 players, whether they're bang average or not, they are better than what we've already got. Because we can't keep going. We cannot go into another season relying on men like Havertz, Marino, Trossard, false nine.
It's not even fair to them, if I'm honest. It's not fair to them or us.
We've got to stop all this nonsense and just go and sign a striker. And I'm at the stage now where I don't care who we get. I just want to see number 9 on the back of one of these guys.
And this is what I've been saying for the last few weeks. I'm at that point now. Just get me.
I'm at that point now where I don't care. I don't care what you give me. I just don't want to see Kai Havertz or Marino as my strikers. And that is it. That is where I'm at with it. That is where I'm at now. You know, if you've highlighted Sesko, go and get him. Go and get him. But the longer you leave it, the more money we're going to have to pay for these people, and other teams are also going to come into them. And if we get into a bidding war, you can say goodbye to both of these.
And then you still have to find someone, whether it's by hook or by crook, Ollie Watkins or something.
And then we end up with your cover, which is Ollie Watkins.
Exactly. And then you should have probably got him in January, as much as it would have been overpriced. Why do you think, because for every rumor about Sesko signing for us, there's rumors saying that's wide of the mark. And 1 minute Gyökeres is joining, then he's not. Gyökeres is first choice, then he's not. Sesko the same. Why do you think both of you think we're negotiating with both of them? Apparently, like, do you think we haven't settled on a first choice, or is Berta kind of playing the game?
Me personally, I think it's all talk. I don't think we're negotiating on both of them. I think he wants one player. He's highlighted who he wants. The manager wants Sesko. All this about, we're trying to get this one, we're trying to get this one, we're trying to get this one. No, the manager has made it clear who he wants. He wants Sesko, and that's it. And he will just dig his heels in, and he will do all what he can to get his own way, because that's the sort of manager we've got at the football club. He wants Sesko. That's it. If we get Gyökeres and we don't get Sesko, it throws all his plans out of the pram. It will absolutely bamboozle him, completely throw him off. It will completely throw him. He'll even lose sleep over it. I'm telling you, Gyökeres is not who he wants. He wants Sesko. Then he can mess around with Havertz. Then he can mess around with the likes of Trossard. He can still play certain ways. With Gyökeres, you can't do that. You can't have this man coming back and defending, going out on the left. You can't have this man in a rotational with Havertz. You got to play him. You got to play him. You got to play him. He's an out-and-out forward. You got to play him. He ain't going to sit on the bench and watch a midfield player play up front. Do you know? It's going to cause bad vibes. That is why this man is doing everything he can to get Sesko. Everything. So all this about he wants Gyökeres, he wants this one. No. Arteta and all the fans that absolutely worship the ground he walks over, he wants Sesko. 100%.
Where are you at with that, Kenny?
Well, first and foremost, without a shadow of that, I think well, Arsenal, if Gyökeres is available, then big clubs should be interested, because you're immediately attracted to his record. the goals he scored in the last couple of seasons.
Can't ignore it.
But you can't ignore it, regardless of what. I think people at Arsenal will know a lot about Gyökeres. They would followed his career at Brighton when he was part of the academy. They would have seen what he looked at Coventry, looked at what he does with Sweden, but they just prefer Sesko. I understand that some fans will prefer Gyökeres because, if anyone's banging in goals with that sort of ratio, you have to think, yeah, come on.
You can't ignore them.
He's a scorer in the top of European league. He scores regular goals in the Champions League. Of course, you're going to want to be interested, but I genuinely believe that Arsenal are having a look at Gyökeres because they're aware of the clause in his contract. But and possibly because he's probably a little bit cheaper than he's probably going to prove cheaper than Sesko, who long term, Leipzig.
There are reports saying that Gyökeres is overpriced for his price tag, though, which I agree it is cheaper, but some think he's overpriced. There could be red flags there with him.
It's not a case of red flags. It's the face that it's the age in it. Sesko's a young player. From a business point of view, if you're a businessman, you probably want Sesko because you think that if he develops and improves, then and if he chooses to leave, we can get massive money for him. I don't see the business plan for Gyökeres, to be honest.
No. So win now thing. That's why I would want it. But like I said, it's not business.
I don't even see the plan. I don't even see the plan under this manager with Gyökeres. This is what worries me. There's no plan for him with under this manager, Gyökeres. I don't know about you, Kenny, but I can't. No. This
is just a common sense attachment because the fact is that he wants to leave. He's told Sporting he doesn't want to play for them no more. That he wants to go to a bigger club. His agent is parading clause in his contract.
There's a lot of mind games going on.
Sporting is saying, "Oh yeah, we've got our price." Of course, if there's a striker in the top European league scoring goals and he's available, Arsenal Football Club have to be interested. It's a given. It's an open goal, really. Doesn't mean they want the player. He's not their plan A. The plan A is Sesko.
Yeah.
Been chasing him for a couple of years, so yeah, it would make sense. And they're prepared to pay more for him than Gyökeres.
I don't think they're serious enough on getting Gyökeres. I honestly think that they're putting all their eggs in one basket with Sesko, and they've bought Ollie Watkins in because if both go wrong, there's Ollie Watkins as a cover. Because they know the fans are desperate for a striker. He knows he needs a striker. He needs a striker. And that is, if we go into this season without a striker, it's going to be it's not going to be pretty over.
May God be with Arsenal Football Club because
it's not going to be pretty over the Emirates. I don't know where you sit, Kenny, but I mean, where I sit, it won't be pretty. If we're lining up with Havertz to come next season, it ain't going to be pretty where I sit.
They'll be raged to the extent that I think people who back the manager and in turn back Havertz. We've got people at the club. Those merchants. If he plays in a red shirt, you got to back him because I'm backing him, so you've got to back him. Those kind of guys. I don't think. Look,
everyone gets backed, but we can be honest if a player is good or not good enough.
I don't think it's even that. I think Arsenal. I think I can confidently say 96, probably 97% of our fans do not believe Kai Havertz should be starting games up top. If they're honest. Some will be wouldn't want him in the club at all. Some would just say in a sort of like lesser.
You can do the squad player thing.
I don't. Well, for £65 million, you don't want him. I rather sell him if he's a bench player. He's got to go.
Sell him to where, Kenny? Though
280 grand, 280,000.
Yeah, sell him to where?
Do you know what I mean? Let me say something.
If Bayern aren't coming for him, we're in trouble. Or Saudi or something.
There's always clubs in Europe. Kai Havertz is still seen as a top player to some clubs. There'll be Premiership clubs after him. There'll be European clubs.
I don't know, Kenny, man.
You say that. I don't see why not. When we were after him, he didn't do much at Chelsea, but we were interested in him. So
who else was interested in him then?
DG, everyone's forgetting one thing. What you got to remember is that Kai Havertz is on £280,000 a week.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm like. How can you? I don't know.
The only club he's going to after us is Saudi.
Yeah.
But
I understand where Kenny's coming from. There will be clubs kind of,
clubs come in for him,
but not on those wages. I don't think.
I'll tell you one thing.
I could be wrong.
I bet you any money. But Bayern Munich will have a sniff if he's available.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some
for the right price.
May. But can you see where we're at? We're talking Havertz being a squad player. I was listening to one of the streams, Dan's stream yesterday, like
big up Dan.
Bits and pieces, big up Dan Potts all the time. But while I was at work, I was sort of like in and out, and they were saying about squad player and all that, and I'm scratching my head thinking, is this where we've come to? We have come from signing a player for 65 million to play in midfield. We're now playing him as our number 9, and now we're talking about putting him on the bench as a squad player on 280k a week.
That's where I think we're at, DJ, man. I wouldn't have thought Kai Havertz, but we're at with him.
This is what I mean. We've got Jesus, 250k a week, 4 knee operations, looking to get back in January. We've got Tommy Asu, 100 grand a week, played 6 minutes of football. Yeah, this is what I'm saying is, until you delve right into the nitty gritty, people don't want to hear it, because all people are looking at is
these are top earners.
We finished second and we got to a Champions League semi-final, and look where we were when he took over. Well, he got us eighth and fifth. At one point, we was bottom of the league and Spurs were top. So, let's cut all this nonsense about where we're finished. The fact of the matter is, we haven't won anything. We've got players on stupid wages. We've also got players out of form, and we're dilly-dallying about getting a striker when this guy knows that he's needed a striker now for the last 3 seasons. And we're still messing around with it. I mean, it is an absolute joke. It's really it's crazy. We shouldn't be like this. If you've got a manager that's been in place for this long and he's that good, why are we panicking over beating teams like Fulham and West Ham and Palace? Why are we panicking about what players we're going to sign? We should have our squad, the money he's had, easily assembled, and the only player we should be bringing in this season,
there'd be little touch-ups of the squad to be fair.
Is probably to tweak it up, like 1 or 2 players. We're talking about 6 players. We're talking about forwards here, DG. We need a left winger. We need a left back. We need another left back. Look at the left backs he's signed. And we still need a left back. Skelly's not a left back. Skelly's not a left back.
Apparently, he signed a new deal.
And chat, people are coming and go, what are you on about? Skelly ain't a left back. This kid's a midfield player. This kid would be a baller in midfield under any other manager. This kid in a number 8 or an attacking midfield, as an attacking midfield player, he would be unplayable in certain games, right? But what is he? He's been discovered by default through injury, not by the manager's scouting talent. By default, he's been discovered at left back, and that's where he's going to rot at this club, at left back.
Ain't that a bit harsh though? Because in the summer last year, they were saying they see him as a left back in the Zinchenko mode. To be fair,
he didn't see him as a left back, DG. He discovered him as a left back because he had no other option. Otherwise, he wouldn't have signed Calafiori. Otherwise, he wouldn't have played Zinchenko there.
Fair.
He wouldn't have played Kivior there at times. If he discovered this guy as a left back, why go and waste all that money on Calafiori?
I believe in Calafiori, but it's true. It's true.
It's true. And this is where we're at now. And the problem is, it's okay that a striker is not going to solve all up. This is going to come as a big surprise to a lot of people, right? A striker coming to this football club is not going to solve all the problems at this.
I'm happy you said that. There's so much you got to do from a technical point of view, training and shit.
All the problems. There's too many problems at this football club. We still haven't got a replacement for Saliba. We've got no right-sided centre back.
They've been trying, to be fair.
that's adequate. Ben White carrying an injury. If Ben White gets injured, if Timber gets injured, you're looking at no right back. We still haven't got a replacement for Saka. You know, and we've got a number 10 that just runs around in circles and produces nothing. Who's captain?
He'll be back next year. He'll be back next year. Not the guy we trust.
DG, mate, honestly, make it, mate. Honestly, we still haven't got no.
You know, you're going to see Havertz playing Odegaard's role if it goes left, man.
This guy will do everything to push any mountain to get Havertz in the team.
Yeah.
He has to justify spending all that money on Havertz.
Exactly.
And this is where this is one of his downfalls that he's going to have with his football club, Kai Havertz. But yeah, I mean that's where I'm at, guys. I mean, you know,
you're preaching, DJ. You're preaching. What you lot saying for this guy leaving as well? Because apparently Carlos Cuesta's become a manager at Parma now. He's obviously part of the coaching staff at Arsenal. He's gone now. Do you think this has some level of impact? Like, is it a big loss?
Slow news day. Who is he?
That's a bit harsh. He does the individual coaching. You see what he did for Saliba and Ben White and that.
Slow news day.
At about 29 years of age, about to become Parma manager, D.
Yeah, the only people who ask really is the players that works with him, you know. But yeah, I mean, Kenny, you know this club's teed up for Cesc Fabregas to be our next manager. You know that, don't you? Keep saying it.
I'm with it as well. I think it'd be a success. I must admit, I'm with the new look manager.
At least he's earned his stripes at another club, unlike this manager. You know what I mean?
I mean, he'll have to share he'll have to sell his shares at Como. Surely he's not going to have his shares in Como.
Put that in your wife's name, man. He'll be.
Well, there's a question, right? If Arteta and Cesc Fabregas were both available, who'd get the bigger job?
What now?
Yeah.
Well, Cesc about to go into though, man.
That's a good question because Arteta's obviously got the gig at Arsenal. He's
honestly, I think Arteta because I think he's got some PR in the footballing world. They rate him and whatnot. But I would pick Cesc.
Yeah, but the thing is that
at both starting their careers.
Something about Cesc. Cesc is saying the right things about coaching and about philosophy of football. Cesc is really impressive, even though I don't like having any time for the man. Cesc,
there you go, man.
It's not personal. From a footballing point of view, Cesc is really highly thought of. A lot of people putting up for when the Leipzig job's available, people putting his name in the ring. There's going to be jobs in the Premiership. So Cesc, a lot of people listen to Cesc because he's telling us what he wants to hear. We want to hear. We don't want to see this kind of like
a bit like Arteta.
No block crap. But with Arteta, with Cesc, he's talking about playing the game the right way. Yeah. He's against
a real Wenger disciple, not David Moyes.
Yeah. David Moyes. A lot of fans will want to see that brand of football.
Yeah.
So
I think you get
that. Sorry, owners like to see that brand of football as well. So I can't rule Cesc. I think he's 50-50.
Yeah. Because how I look at it, if Arteta's that good and that Arteta is so sought after, taking away the Spanish thing, why did Madrid come in for Alonso? Why weren't Arteta tapped up?
But that's the difference, man. Xabi Alonso did his thing at Sociedad. He then went to Leverkusen. Exactly. I think. Do you know what? I think Real Madrid are going to win the Champions League. I actually think Xabi Alonso is a very good manager, and in general, he's similar to Arteta. But one thing I like about Xabi Alonso watching Leipzig, he changes things. You see him do a back three, do a back four. He changes things. Arteta just, this is what I'm doing. I'm not stopping it. And I think that's because of pressure. I don't feel you're pressurized to change things at Arsenal. And it's it's your Achilles heel. I understand life's a contradiction, as we all know. And as a manager, you have to find that balance with being stubborn, but you also have to be a bit humble. And I need Arteta to learn from the mistakes of last year, when to trust, when to rotate, when to, maybe I want us to, control the whole game, but I might just need to let Saka stay up there rather than defend. Everyone at this football club needs to learn from last season. We need to exhaust all options from a technical front in the training pitch. We need to get this market spot on. We need the quality in our 11 and we need the depth. If those 3-4 things I said are not answered, and I hope I'm wrong, you can forget about Premier Leagues and all these things. That if nothing changes, nothing changes. The guy's not going anywhere, but there is an element of pressure. Everyone needs to deliver now. Because this is when, if they ain't already, when players start going, you know what, it's not going to happen here. I'm going elsewhere. The Salibas and them kind of players.
And Saka, go on, DJ, you can say it.
I was trying not to. But Saka as well.
I know he's your boy. I know he's your absolute boy, man.
I was trying so hard not to say
mine
Saka.
as well.
My mind was saying it.
I'd be gutted if he ever left the club. But yeah, no, honestly, it will start to happen if these players are not, if things are not moving and these players are not tasting. And Kenny
especially now,
past, and I've said it in the past. You have to have a foundation. None of these players know what it's like at Arsenal to go to a major final. Saka was on the bench at the FA Cup. What I'm trying to say is they need that. Whether they win or lose that final, they need to experience that moment, that final, that going there together, achieving that. And these players have not done that. That's why the Carabao Cup was so important last season, because it would have given some sort of building block and foundation and experience to go and taste another final. It might have pushed them on for that Champions League semi-final. You know what I mean, Kenny? I mean, do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
This team needs a title. I think what's happened, the mindset of some of our fans to talk about clubs being little clubs, you know, it's because a team other than yourselves have won it. I'm sure if we won the League Cup or the FA Cup, we won the best competitions ever because we've won it, and people will be scrambling to get tickets at Wembley by any means possible, anywhere. You know, press passes, you know, stuff. You know,
press passes.
I got you there. Press passes. Like, on a serious note, this team needs a title. Let's not forget, I was at the League Cup final in 2018, and it was packed Arsenal fans.
It was brilliant.
That's what it's about. The fans need memory. The fans and the players need memories now. Them two in particular. I would say obviously Arteta and all of that, but the fans and the players now, because even the most loyal, even the most harshest of critic of Arteta that bought into everything, we're finishing second. At a point, you could see what's going on. We've now hit that roadblock. Last summer, I think if you genuinely were saying, you know what, fair enough, you're showing me something. That last summer and the season that played out, I think you've lost a lot of fans. And I say that for the whole club. I think you've lost them. I think everyone's on borrowed time. I think we've gone back into that weird spot of lip service, but not continuing. And Arteta and well, Berta ain't said nothing, but Arteta must know something because he keeps talking about goosebumps and we know what we need to do. But you have set yourself up for failure if it goes left. If you don't address the striker in left wing positions, especially, you've set yourself up for failure. And regardless, you're going to have to hold that and get over the line, regardless what you got, because this is your team now. You can't keep saying, oh, the Conkies are not spending money and all of this. Everybody's in this together. Everybody's fingerprints at the crime scene.
Yeah, 100%. Zinchenko, there he is, man.
It's one of those. I wanted to ask you a little question, with Zinchenko. Well, first thing I want to ask about Zinchenko. He's been linked with Atletico Madrid, West Ham, etc. Do you lot think he'll actually leave?
I think so. I'm a little bit. This might come a bit of surprise. I feel sorry for this guy in a way, to be honest, because when he came to the club, he played left back and he played inverted at left back, and he started off pretty well. And you're thinking, very well. This is what we need: someone to control stuff and stuff like that. And then I always saw Zinchenko come to his best when he played international in midfield. And when I saw him invert from left back, I'm thinking, this guy looks comfortable. He's controlling the game. He's passing it. You know, he's long. You know, he's
very cultured and technically.
Yeah, he's very cultured. He's getting into nice little pockets. He's getting into nice spaces. And then I'm thinking, well, try him in midfield. And then I'm thinking, certain games, get him from that left back.